Hello, my friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family. Guys, check this out. What do you make of this? The Washington Monument struck by lightning.
That is really, really, really curious. That's a good strike, too. Look at that. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that is really wild. I mean, straight on the top, comes straight down and curving off there to the left. Very, very curious. I mean, is that a sign?
I don't know. It could very well be. We were looking at some signs that it could possibly be.
Well, looking at the history of the Washington Monument, for one, Washington, D.C., if you haven't heard before, it was basically designed by many Freemasons and the secret societies. And so it's laid out in very, very specific ways with a lot of symbology going on there, occult symbology. And occult just means hidden symbology and numerology. And so it is 555 feet tall. That's curious, which is exactly 10 times the base in height. And interesting when you look at that number. We look at the biblical meaning of 555. In the Bible, every number that appears in triplicate has a spiritual meaning tied to it. The number 555 spiritually means redemption and the grace of God. Jesus Christ mostly associated with the numbers 5 and 7 in the Bible. In one of the miracles in the Gospels of Luke, Matthew, Mark, and John, Jesus fed 5,000 people with only 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. Jesus received 5 wounds on the cross at Calvary. However, this is a number that represents the unity of Christ and the church. It also represents the wholeness of human creation. As humans, we have 5 fingers on the hand, 5 toes on each foot. We also possess 5 senses, sight, hearing, touch, taste, smell. The extremities of the body also add up to 5. That is 2 arms, 2 legs, and a head. As we think of the Vitruvian Man, 555 is also a symbol of the justice of God. The number 5 has several meanings in the Bible, but above states are the most important. Interesting stuff there. Curious because, the layout. Think about it again. The Pentagon, 5 there as well. This is a extreme landslide. This is up in Norway, and this was just crazy. And this is from BBC News. This whole massive piece of land just slides straight on into the ground, or into the sea, I should say. And it's pretty much washed back and forth as the houses slowly settle and go down in. Wasn't that wow?
That was heart-wrenching to watch these homes, these beautiful, beautiful, huge Victorian homes just get gulped.
Well, nature's powerful, that's for sure. So checking in on the Sarga, this was the severe tropical cyclone that hit India. So it did kill 4 and disrupt power to millions. And, the storms are most definitely getting stronger. There's video here for you guys to check out as well. Northern Ireland is under the worst drought now since 1976. Water everywhere, and then some areas there's none. And the worst drought was going back to 1929 previously. So everywhere we look, crop loss, crop failure. It's pretty obvious the times that we are heading into. And here we have on June 3rd, and this is in Lombardy, Italy. Look at that. It looks like snow on the streets. But again, another massive hailstorm.
That is just huge. I know. This is like super crazy hail.
Yeah, walking around in shorts, and there's piles of hail. It looks like there's piles of snow in June. So Yellowstone had nearly 300 quakes in May. But the scientists say don't worry. And in fact, the scientists say, after the discovery of 2 ancient Yellowstone super eruptions, including the volcanic province's largest and most cataclysmic event, that Yellowstone's hotspot is waning. So the chances of Yellowstone being another massive super eruption like we've seen in the past is actually going down. But there's other things going on as well with Yellowstone. and just the whole American West, because the American West is basically being stretched. And see, the area of western United States is being stretched and thinned by geological forces, causing the crust to fracture in large quakes. So the risk of more of these quakes occurring remains high. And, there may even be, too, who knows? We've had so much talk of other areas potentially becoming supervolcanoes. Of course, we have Long Valley Caldera, and we'll pull up really quick the USGS. Now, yesterday, in a 24-hour period, we were looking at over 700 quakes. Right now, 544. And really, things have settled down a little bit after feeling like they were raising up. But, I don't think we should lower our guard, so to speak, if we're in the western U.S. As we see, we still have swarming going on in Ridgecrest and also over west of Tonopah. We still see swarming up in Idaho. A little quieter throughout Utah right now. And as we go on in just to see what you got, there's 198. That's about the fewest I've seen in a couple weeks. Now, yesterday it was upticking again, but it was upticking mostly over in Ridgecrest, and we had that 5.5 over there before. So right now, 119. Yesterday we were looking at over 200. I think it was around 225 was the highest I saw yesterday. So, there's definitely a lot of interesting things going on. And we've talked about Cascadia. I do feel that Cascadia will go first, and then we'll have San Andreas after that. And we've also talked about X marks the spot. It happened to be right over the New Madrid. So we see record June gains for the Greenland ice sheet. And if we check the total Arctic sea ice volume, we see it's still the lowest going back to 2004. Although it's catching up to 2016 right now as far as the lowest total volume. And NOAA's forecasting larger than average dead zone for the Gulf of Mexico. So the pollution and the woes continue. The mass die-offs continue as well. And these dead zones are area where it's, low oxygen, and, it's going to create more massive die-offs of fish and everything in there. And I've known people that do a lot of fishing out in the Gulf of Mexico, and they've encountered this, and they've just said to me that, there's so much less life out there than there used to be. It really is. It's sad because it's an amazing body of water, and yet, it's part of the sickness of the world that we see. Russia declares state of emergency after second largest oil spill in Arctic Circle. And, it's just what we need going on right now. 20,000 ton oil spill over there. Obviously that's going to lead to more death. And we have genetically modified mosquitoes that are about to be released in Florida. So this is imminent. And who knows what that's going to bring in? We don't know. And everything gets blamed on just one thing. But there's so many things going on right now. And there's so many things we've been exposed to, as a public. Look at the skies every day, and who knows what's up there.
Exactly. And I don't know if it said in here, but why in God's name do they need to release these? What's the point?
Well, it's the point is this is their way of, getting rid of other diseases by having them mix in with the other population. And who knows what they're going to create, some huge mutant mosquitoes that can kill with one sting, It's just Resident Evil over and over, all over again. And you remember the drones out west and Midwest? Well, this is a photo showing these drones. And I asked Cindy her impression.
I didn't get too much off of these, just that they're mechanical and they are about observation.
Surveillance drones, probably, yeah. I wonder who, though.
Right.
So, this has been released. And so, what do you guys make of this? Alien invasion? Chinese, the Russians? Or maybe our own government, perhaps? And we got 5 suns appearing in the sky over the Ivory Coast. And check that out. We've seen this. We see this up in the north a lot. And, I guess, again, it's whether you're up by the Arctic or down by the Antarctic Circle. It's more apt to be seen with this sky phenomenon. But, everything that's rare is not so rare anymore.
It looks like a big owl.
Yeah, I could see that, actually.
Yeah.
Eyes, yeah, that does. So, 17 common home security mistakes you need to avoid. Most definitely in these times. Who knows? I mean, I have my kids up in Columbus, Ohio, and there was rioting like just 2 blocks away from where they are. So you just got to be careful nowadays. You really, really, really got to be careful for so many different reasons. Some things that we do, perhaps habitually, a lot of other people do, and they can kind of figure it. Like they walk up to the house, maybe they check under the doormat. Oh, looky here. Wow, that was a great idea.
Or in the plant pot,
Yeah, under a pot. Yeah, exactly, something like that. Don't do the obvious, most definitely. In fact, number 2, hiding a key outside anywhere is maybe not a good idea. Leaving a ladder in your backyard either. Well, let's just put this up to the 2nd story and go in that window, Using cheap door and window locks. Forgetting to lock your garage door. Relying on a barking dog, as we've said before. You never know. Sometimes if Zeke's in a deep sleep, I'll hear something, before he does. Though Sassy, hardly anything gets by her. Using fake security equipment. I ran into this so many times in the past, believe it or not, where people would have signs up. Oh, I don't even have a security system. That was the previous people. When I bought the house or when I rented, they took it with them. Providing hiding places in your yard, such as large bushes, untrimmed trees, big trash cans, anything like that. Not having enough outdoor lights as well, because, that gives them more cover. And this is something I did when I was like around 20. I had saved up and bought a brand new TV. And we were living in an apartment, and there was only a 15-minute window where somebody could have gotten into the house between me coming home from work and my ex-wife going out to her work, and somebody broke in that 15 minutes because they had watched us and they knew we had a TV, and they just had time to just take the TV and take my 10-speed at the time.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah, that sucked. I had it for one night.
Oh.
One night.
Brutal.
Putting your valuables near a window. Hey, looky here. Well, look what that is, right? Putting your alarm system near a window as well where they could see it. Forgetting to maintain your security system. And announcing where you are and will be on social media. I mean, oh, guys, we're going away for 2 weeks. Nobody's going to be home or what have you. Not a good idea. Leaving no lights or just one light on when you're away and not mixing it up as well, and forgetting to stop the mail, newspaper, or have somebody take it in on a regular basis because they'll know, and just letting your guard down in general, not being aware. Some good tips. So guys, thank you so much for your support on Patreon and also on Ko-Fi. Make sure you're subscribed and click the bell on both channels. As always, stay safe, stay prepared. God bless and namaste.
Namaste.